saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too, right? And they're just saying, oh, we thought they were African. We thought they were illegal immigrants. And then they will detain you for days, sometimes weeks, so that they can have their way with you in the ICE detention center while they figure out that you're an American citizen. In fact, that's exactly what happened to this lady right here. She's an American citizen. They detained her for 2 days and kept her in that detention center. And this is what they're doing with so many people. If you're not white, they will target you.
Imagine propping up your phone as a white man to lecture Black Americans on the treachery of the United States government, as if we haven't experienced everything there is that they could throw at us. Your fear tactics don't work on us. Leave us alone. It's starting to get weird. It really is starting to get weird. This isn't our fight. And the reason it isn't our fight is because that same system that abuses and neglects us is coddling these people so that they can come over here and replace our demographics with one that will be a lot more subservient to this democratic government. Leave us alone. And I can tell you don't know any Black people. You know I can tell? Because the example of a Black person you use is a performant of Somali American woman who's talking about eating bananas and rice.
I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's a
So, guys, in a moment when emotions around immigration enforcement are already running hot, a controversial video begins circulating online of that white man that is speaking confidently into the camera and calling on Black Americans to stand in solidarity with the Somali-led protest against ICE. His language is urgent, his tone is provocative, and his message framed as unity against a common enemy. But guys, something doesn't land. Across the Black American social media spaces, the reaction is not outrage or mobilization, but a pause. And so, guys, before we get deeper into that, if you are new to the channel, please consider to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll always be notified every time I upload such kind of a videos if this is the kind of content that interests you. So, guys, now the Black Americans, they realize that this is a setup from this white man and they are not going to fall for it. So guys, let's get to watch some clips, and this is a response to this white man's video and the Black Americans' reactions to his remarks and his urgent calling upon them to protest against the Black minority races or immigrants that are facing ICE scrutinies. And one of the videos the guy provides is of a Somali, and the Black Americans, they say this is not this situation or this whole issue is not a Black American thing, and they distance themselves from the Somali immigrant or Somali, referring to herself as Somali American. And the Black Americans are coming out to say that they will only deal and concentrate on matters that affect the Black Americans and not other Black, Black minorities, other races that are far from Black Americans. So let's get to watch this, and then I'll be back with more commentaries.
it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really
talking about, bro?
see like it's people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean. So
Never in my 43, nearly 44 years on this planet as a Black American man have I ever heard any Black person talk about eating bananas and rice. That lady is not one of us, and that's the example that you use. Leave us the fuck alone.
For all the
Black Americans too. They've been kidnapping Black Americans for 400 years. Your forefathers literally dragged their asses over here across the Atlantic, ate them, peeled their skin, raped the hell out of them, their women and their men and their children, wore their skin for shoes. And then once slavery was abolished, then you guys started kidnapping them again during the Jim Crow era, doing stuff with ropes and trees. That's the best way to put it. And then you guys would innocently throw Black people in prison. You guys would kidnap them by being modern slave catchers, cops, throwing them in the system. And you guys are still doing that to this day. White people have been kidnapping the hell out of Black Americans for quite some time now. They're not new to this. Now, me as a Haitian, I'm going to go out there and continue to fight. Because at the end of the day, my people are not from America. They're from Haiti. And we were privileged to be here. So Haitians getting kidnapped, Haitians getting thrown in cages. That's my problem, not Black Americans' problem. So I'm going to speak up for that. Black Americans ain't got to do shit. Don't you think they sacrifice enough?
Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that.
Hey there, friend. This is a mistranslation you're having. When Black people are telling you that what's going on is not their problem, they're not saying it's not going to harm them. They're not saying they're not going to get caught up in the crossfire or even directly targeted. What they're saying is they voted for the black lady. What they're saying is they had no hand in creating the ideology that made ICE. They had no hand in creating ICE. They had no hand in funding ICE. And they don't benefit from ICE. That's what they mean. And so because of that, when they say this has nothing to do with them, they're not saying they're not going to get harmed. They're saying it's not their responsibility to dismantle.
If you took our land, we have to do segregation because you guys want to be segregated after you stole our shit. After you stole our shit, we had civil rights, so we all can be equal. Everybody, immigrants and everybody. That's when the immigrants start coming, didn't it? Black immigrants did not come to America until civil rights. After that, y'all put crack in our neighborhoods, and then we just disappear. Y'all stop giving a fuck about us and shit. Boom, 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 boom. Niggas getting killed by the police left and right. We telling you guys about it. No one's fucking listening. No one's listening. It's time to vote. Black women vote 90%. Black men vote like 85 or 80%. Not to fuck with the orange dude. And the immigrants don't vote the same way. And you want us to do something about it? Fuck out.
As insufferable as it sounds, someone saying that black people who want to sit it out, like, don't you know ICE is coming for black people too? There are two things that happen during times of intense and political unrest in which this kind of violence escalates.
Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too.
I want y'all to leave us alone. I want y'all to leave Black Americans alone. I want y'all to leave Black women in America alone. We know. We've always known. They did it to us first. They've been doing it to us. And now y'all are just realizing they're doing it to you too. Don't say they're doing it to us too. It's been us too. It was us first. It's always been us. You voted for this. Your family voted for this. And it was all be friends, kumbaya, don't separate people from the party. Y'all mad at Peyton right now for speaking out against creators who are performative as hell. Oh, it's supposed to be Democrat with Democrat, liberal with liberal like they do. He's putting his body on the line. But you want me to put my body on the line? My body has been put on the line enough. Stop asking, can I tell y'all something? Stop asking, can I ask y'all something? Stop asking if I can borrow y'all for a second. We have been borrowed enough in this country and not given back in the same condition that y'all borrowed us. It was a girl got on TikTok crying. They kidnapped my husband. Okay, before I figure out if I feel bad for you or not, who did you vote for? She said, oh, I didn't vote. Click, figure it out. Y'all are going to have to figure this out yourselves. I did my job. Y'all didn't do yours. It was your aunties, your uncles. And I don't hear y'all asking poor white people why they didn't vote in their best interest. Y'all always asking us.
Minneapolis, don't anywhere where they're doing the ICE raids, I'm urging black people to please do not put your body on the line for this fight. 2 people have already been killed and they both were white, right? So just look at that and understand that if you decide to go out there, they're going to have no problem chipping you off too, okay? And I'm just going to remind you that this isn't our fight. No matter how many videos that are on this app of black people telling other black people that this somehow is inherently our fight, do not believe them. They will make you crash out.
The fact that you can't understand why everybody is on your ass just goes to show how uninformed you are. And I'm just going to give you a little smidget. Black Americans have the highest arrest rates, but we do not have the highest conviction rates. You know why that is? Because we are constantly detained against our will for no reason for not breaking any laws. So being detained by any law enforcement entity is not uncommon for us. We understand it. So to sit up here and say, oh, we should be out there because they're detaining Black Americans while they're doing their ICE raids. Where were you when the police are wrongly detaining us? Where was your outrage then? Because I'm a Chicago kid. I remember in the late 80s, early 90s, actually into the mid 90s, they had warehouses in the city where the CPD would take you. And many of those people were never seen again. So to sit up here and act like we need to be shocked about what's going on and we should be out there putting our bodies on the line for people like you who never really gave a damn what was happening to the Black community. But now because somebody, white T, has died, and now because they're picking up Black Americans while they're deporting illegal immigrants, we ought to be outraged? Where was the outrage when it was just regular Americans being picked up by American police for no reason at all? This is why everybody is on your ass. So, leave the Black community alone and continue on to do what you
Guys, you have heard it for yourself. That is the message from the Black Americans. They want to be left alone and they will decide on the matters and issues that they want to participate in. And so, guys, there is no real concern for Black communities in this person's or the speaker's history. He doesn't understand the history and no acknowledgement of the unique struggle the Black Americans face with policing, economic inequality, or systemic racism. Instead, the message feels transactional. Show up, make noise, take the risk, while others stay comfortable behind the camera. And guys, why is this call to protest coming from someone who would bear the consequences? Why are the Black Americans always being someone when? So it is the high time that the Black Americans, they understand that they are being trapped in this. And the response is firm, guys, but calm. And this isn't solidarity. It is a bait. And the Black Americans' online stress a hard-earned lesson. Don't be used as shock absorbers for someone else's agenda. Protesting has real costs: arrests, surveillance, loss of job, damaged roads, and history has taught Black communities to be cautious about who is asking them to step into the fire. And that doesn't mean indifference, guys. Many express empathy for immigrants and Somali families affected by ICE actions. But empathy doesn't require blindly following a viral call, especially one that feels engineered to provoke chaos rather than change. And instead of marching into the streets on someone else's cue, Black Americans choose a different route, which is conversation, critique, and clarity. No shouting, no hashtags demanding action, just a collective refusal to be manipulated. And in that refusal, it is a quiet power, because sometimes the most effective resistance isn't showing up to the trap. It is seeing it clearly, naming it, and walking away from it. And that is what the Black Americans have done. See you guys in my next episode.